As you will find out, the crosscut saw world is a subject rich in history, a significantly new vocabulary for trail workers, and with a lot of rules and best practices to ensure the safety of a saw team and trail visitors alike. Hello everyone, this is Guy Himlin with Trailkeepers of Oregon. I'm a crew leader with TKO, and we are developing a series of training videos covering intermediate crosscut Sawyer information. Our goal is to create YouTube videos for this information that supplements a formal classroom situation, particularly when it's not convenient for a public gathering. It's important to mention, however, that this material does not substitute nor qualify for an official Forest Service Sawyer training course. This information is generalized background material to be part of an informal discussion for folks new to the volunteer crosscut Sawyer world. There will be a series of videos covering different aspects of a basic introductory workshop for prospective volunteer crosscut Sawyers. Videos like what are the Forest Service regulatory requirements for a volunteer saw program, to a discussion of what is a saw team, and then to more complex subjects like log bind analysis and cut plans. Subsequent classroom training sessions will be in greater depth, and then a formal Forest Service-sanctioned training course will provide a student with the information and knowledge to, hopefully, when coupled with crosscut saw hands-on experience, enable a student to become a Forest Service certified apprentice Sawyer. Part of the learning curve for folks new to the crosscut Sawyer world is the extensive vocabulary of terminology, rules, and nuanced definitions. One goal of this video series is to give you the big picture that, when coupled with some required reading, like Saws That Sing, will give you a basis to ask many questions. So let's begin. So what is an official Forest Service SAW program? The Forest Service becomes an umbrella-type organization where groups like TKO can opt in. Such groups, like TKO, must adopt the Forest Service rules, which includes training, evaluation and certification, and record keeping. There are three primary Forest Service options. Suffice it to say, TKO is an Option 2 program, and we can talk about what that means at a later time. The key takeaways are: there is a national standardization at the federal level of a U.S. Forest Service sanctioned SAW program. In other words, uniformity of a SAW program requirements across all Forest Service jurisdictions nationwide. The Forest Service National Program provides specific direction on Sawyer qualifications, training requirements, and the certification and evaluation procedures. A very detailed program definition, some 31 pages, in the Forest Service Manual FSM 2358. And the Forest Service program is evolving. Expect more standardized training materials in 2021, where the Forest Service goal is consistency in Sawyer training nationwide. You, as a volunteer Sawyer, must be authorized by the Forest Service if you are going to cut logs on Forest Service controlled properties. If authorized by the Forest Service, you will be covered by Forest Service insurance and may also be entitled to workman's compensation benefits. TKO is an approved Option 2 SAW program operating under the umbrella of the National Forest Service Policy FSM 2358. Most Forest Service responsibilities are delegated to the TKO SAW program coordinators as part of this Option 2 program. In Oregon, this is not an unusual after-winter logfall across a trail. This was on the spur trail to Pup Creek Falls off the Clackamas River Trail. This was an 18-inch log with severe end bind, plus a surprising amount of torsional bind. The log wanted to roll. The before, the midway, and after pictures are shown here. Hikers were forced to go down off trail, then crawl over the log, then climb up back to the trail. Big safety improvement to this trail. Because most of the Forest Service 2358 requirements are delegated to TKO, TKO must do the following: provide training, certification, and recertification training by Forest Service authorized instructors or instructor evaluators. Maintain TKO records for the above, including all record keeping, which includes copies of the first aid and CPR certifications and issued Forest Service National Sawyer certification cards. Ensure TKO sawyers use saws within the limits of their certification or qualifications. The primary purpose of a Sawyer certification is for Sawyer safety, by confirming that the Sawyer has met applicable training requirements and has successfully completed a Sawyer training and field proficiency evaluation. So in short, there's a lot of responsibility delegated to TKO for classroom and field proficiency training to produce certified sawyers with the skills, knowledge, and an awareness of relevant safety concerns. So typically, most SAW programs have an introductory or basic crosscut sawyer classroom course for those new to the crosscut saw world. Then, an official Forest Service sanctioned training classroom program that can, but not always, lead to a Forest Service crosscut certification at the A or B level. New sawyers typically become an A or apprentice sawyer for a year to gain logout experience before attempting an upgrade to a B sawyer. Saw safety training is required for all sawyers, initial, upgrading sawyers, and recertification sawyers. Central to all Sawyer training is the OLEC process. OLEC is an acronym that stands for Objective, Hazards, Leans and Binds, Escape Paths, and the Cut Plan. Formal Forest Service sanctioned training will go into depth about the elements of the OLEC process, including the variables in the complexity analysis. Complexity analysis is the umbrella, technical term for assessing all the risks at a job site. Bind analysis and cutting plans are topics for all crosscut sawyers wanting to be certified at the A or B level. There are different training requirements for A applicants versus B applicants. The common theme for a Sawyer certification is safety, safety, safety for both the saw team and those in the vicinity of the job site. A lead sawyer must demonstrate saw knowledge, field proficiency, and communication control of the saw job site. The key part of all formal training is to enable an applicant to be able to participate in or safely lead a crosscut saw team. The Forest Service has eliminated the log size restrictions that have been traditionally associated with each certification level. The Forest Service is now emphasizing the evaluation of the job site complexity and the rigorous use of the go, no-go analysis methods. It is essential to this new card designated standard that it be fully understood that a bee sawyer is charged with the responsibility of following saw requirements, saw team leadership, and overall project safety. Every bee sawyer can supervise an A sawyer. On every crew, a saw lead needs to be designated so there is no question which bee sawyer is in charge. Bee sawyers will often supervise other bee sawyers. As part of the field certification for A and B sawyers, TKO will use the Forest Service Form FS 2352B, which is the field evaluation for crosscut saws. Certification cards are now issued for a 3-year time period. This Form 2352B is a great outline of the knowledge and training elements for both a Sawyer A or B applicants. This is the first of a planned 7 short informative videos covering, at a fairly high level, the components of a crosscut saw program. Our goal is to provide enough information about becoming a crosscut sawyer for you to start your training and participating in a logout trail party. So come join us for some crosscut saw logout fun.